Every coffee drinker on earth is somewhere on a ladder, 7 rungs, and almost nobody knows which one they're standing on. What makes this interesting isn't the top. It's that most people are stuck on the same rung for their entire life, and the jump to the next one costs almost nothing. By the end of this, you'll know exactly where you stand, and you might be surprised who's actually at the top. Level 1. Instant coffee, hot water, brown powder, 3 sugars, done. There's no shame here. This is where every single coffee drinker on the planet begins. But here's what's actually in that jar. Instant coffee is real coffee that was brewed, then dried into crystals. The problem is that the aromatic compounds, the things that make coffee taste like anything at all, mostly evaporate during that drying. What's left is caffeine and bitterness, so if you've ever thought, "I don't like the taste of coffee," you might just never have had any, which is exactly what happens at Level 2. Level 2. The drip machine. Someone gets a coffee maker, buys whatever ground coffee is on sale, and suddenly coffee tastes like something. This is the single biggest jump in the entire ladder, and it costs about $20. But there's a hidden problem here that nobody mentions. Pre-ground coffee starts losing its flavor within 15 minutes of grinding. 15 minutes. That bag on the supermarket shelf was ground weeks ago, sometimes months. You're drinking the ghost of a coffee, and the person at Level 3 thinks they solved this. Level 3. The premium supermarket bag. This is where people start paying attention to labels. Dark roast, medium roast, a picture of a mountain, a word like artisan or gourmet. It feels like an upgrade, and the price says it is. But look at the bag again. Almost none of them tell you when the coffee was roasted. They'll print a best before date 2 years out, which for coffee is meaningless. Coffee isn't canned soup. It peaks between 3 days and 1 month after roasting, and then it slides. The bag with no roast date is telling you something they don't want you to know. Which brings us to the first real threshold. Level 4. Whole beans and a French press. Something changes here. The person buys beans instead of grounds and brews with actual technique instead of a button. This is the level where coffee stops being a habit and becomes a small ritual. And the taste jump is enormous because now the beans are being ground fresh. But most people at Level 4 make one mistake that quietly ruins everything. And it's not the beans, it's the grinder. Level 5. The grinder, the roast date, and the water. Level 5 is where people learn that the cheap blade grinder they bought is chopping the beans into random uneven pieces. Some particles are dust, some are boulders. The dust over-extracts and turns bitter. The boulders under-extract and turn sour. And you taste both at the same time. A burr grinder crushes everything to a uniform size instead. This single change does more for your coffee than spending 3 times more on beans. Level 5 also discovers that water temperature matters, that around 93 degrees Celsius is the window, and that boiling water scorches the grounds. And then things get serious. Level 6. The scale, the timer, the ratio. At Level 6, coffee becomes measurable. The person weighs the beans instead of scooping them. They learn the ratio, usually around 1 gram of coffee for every 16 grams of water. They time the pour. They know their brewing method changes the extraction, and they can taste the difference between a washed Ethiopian and a natural Colombian. This is genuinely impressive, and this is also where the trap is, because Level 6 is where a lot of people get stuck forever, buying more equipment, chasing the perfect cup, and slowly forgetting why they started. Which is exactly what Level 7 understands. Level 7. And this is not what most people expect. Level 7 isn't the person with the most expensive setup. It isn't the one paying $600 a pound for exotic beans, or the one with a titanium hand grinder. Level 7 is the person who knows all of it and chooses simplicity anyway. They buy good beans from a roaster who publishes the farm and the date. They grind them fresh, they brew them well, and then they drink the coffee while it's hot instead of analyzing it. Level 7 understands that the point of all that knowledge was never to build a better cup. It was to stop thinking about the cup and enjoy the 10 minutes it gives you. That's the ladder. And here's the thing worth remembering. Every single level up on this list costs less than the one people assume they need. The jump from instant to drip is $20. The jump from blade to burr grinder is $40. Nothing on this ladder requires being rich. It requires knowing what actually matters, and most of it is free. So which level are you on right now? Tell me in the comments honestly. I read them, and I'm curious how many level 6s are hiding out there. And if this made you look at your morning coffee differently, do two things. Subscribe to the Coffee Codex because there's a new coffee story every week, and share this video with the coffee lover in your life. You already know which level they're on, and they need to hear it. Next week, we're going somewhere stranger. A coffee that grows on the side of an active volcano in soil that should kill the plant. It doesn't. And the reason why is one of the best stories in coffee. See you then.